Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Timothy, and on this channel we speak everything personal finance. And in today's video, I'm breaking down 10 New Year's resolutions that will be beneficial for you and New Year's resolutions that I'll be looking to complete as well. And if I have completed a lot of these New Year's resolutions, then I will look to build on these New Year's resolutions. And by having these New Year's resolutions, they will make sure that you crush your financial goals in 2025. This is literally the last month of 2024, and we need to go into 2025 with some aspirations, with some goals that we need to complete, especially when it comes to finances. And hopefully by committing to these New Year resolutions, you will see your financial future flourish. And the first New Year resolution that we're going to be talking about is paying off credit card debt. Credit card debt has hit a balance of $1.66 trillion. And if you're contributing to that number, we want to make sure that in 2025, you are not contributing to that number. We want to make sure that you are the inverse of that. We want to make sure that you have nothing to do with that $1.66 trillion of credit card debt. So in 2025, we're paying off our credit cards. And to ensure that you're not part of this $1.66 trillion credit card debt, we're going to use a method to pay these credit cards off. So we have two methods. We have the avalanche method and the snowball method. Now the avalanche method is when you pay off the highest interest rate first, and the snowball method is when you pay off the lowest balance first. For the avalanche, an easy example is you have a 5% interest rate. Well, in credit card terms, you have a 20% interest rate, and then you have a 30% interest rate card. In that example, we're going to put as much money as we can to the 30% interest rate first and pay the minimum on the 20% interest rate. Once that 30% interest rate card is paid off, then we will roll all that money, including the minimum payment that we were doing on the 20% card, to the 20% interest rate. The avalanche method generally makes more sense in the fact that you're paying less money, because if you're attacking the highest interest first, that means you're paying less money towards interest. Now the snowball method, which is a method that I use because it just works for me, is more of a mental thing. It's paying as much as you can on the lowest balance and then paying the minimums on the next balances. And by doing that, the decrease of the debt that you have, and it just kind of put something in you. It kind of lights a fire to just get you really going and make more money so you can put more money to these cards. So it's really just to help you build that momentum, which is why we call it the snowball, because as you snowball, you just get more momentum and more momentum. And this is something that I use to today. And our second goal that we're going to be striving for in 2025 is to build a budget. Budget is truly a key to success if you're going to be financially stable and financially smart and financially responsible with your money. We need to have a budget, and I can actually explain 3 different budgets that you can use in order to help you build a better financial future. So first, we're going to go with the 50-30-20 rule, which I kind of go off of. I do a mix of two, but we're talking about the 50-30-20 rule, which you put 50% of your money to your needs, 30% to your wants, and 20% to savings. And if you're in credit card debt, we might put less money to wants and more money to necessities or savings. It really depends on your financial situation and how bad you want to get out of the situation that you're currently in. And then we have the zero-based budget, where every dollar has a job. So you have a certain amount of money going to housing, you have a certain amount of money going to food, you have a certain amount of money going to groceries, you have a certain amount of money going to eating out, you have a certain amount of money going to your phone bill, you have a certain amount of money going to gas, and you just really have more categories than you do with the 50-30-20 rule. You also have a certain amount of money going to savings and a certain amount of money going to investing. The way I kind of do things is that I automatically save a certain amount of money, and I have a certain amount of money that I know I'm going to spend on wants and needs. And the housing is taken care of because we're house hacking. If you don't know about that, house hacking is amazing. So the housing is taken care of, and everything that kind of comes with the house is kind of taken care of. So I make sure I save what I need to save. That's automatically distributed. That's automatically invested into my accounts. That's automatically sent to my high yield savings account. And then whatever's left, which I have a good idea of how much is left, is going to go to going out to eat. It's going to go to groceries. It's going to go to the phone bill. It's going to go to all these different categories. So that's kind of how I budget, but it's personal finance and everything is personal, like everyone says, and it's up to you how you want to budget your money. And then we have the cash envelope system, and this is a system that I actually want to do for 1 month. Maybe I'll document it, but I want to do the cash envelope system, which is basically you take out a whole bunch of cash and you put it in categories. So it's kind of like the zero-based budget, but you have cash for these different categories. So say you estimate that you're going to pay $500 in groceries. You're going to take out $500 from your account. You're going to put it in an envelope labeled groceries, and that's going to be your money that you're going to have for the month. Say you estimate or you want to do $100 a month for going out to eat. You're going to take out $100 of your account and you're going to put it in an envelope labeled going out to eat fund. And that's all you have for the month. Do not go over it. If you don't have much control when it comes to spending, the envelope system will help because there's just something that flickers in your mind when you pull out a fresh, crispy 20 and you have to actually give it to somebody, because that's money coming straight from your hand to someone else and exchanging, and you're getting nothing back. You're not getting your credit card back. You're not getting anything back. You're just giving them this 20 and you get a receipt back. So just try the envelope system if you're having a hard time with staying on budget. And I know there's a lot of things that you can't pay with cash, like bills, but just use your brain, kind of keep enough money in those accounts. But when it comes to bills, you should already have a separate account that pays the bills. That's what I do. I have a separate account that pays my bills. So I know the amount that I pay in bills every month, and I have that coming from my paycheck bi-weekly. So if my bills are $300, I have $150 going to this separate checking account that's going to be paying the bills automatically. So I'm not stressing about where's the money going to come from to pay the car insurance. I'm not stressing about where's the money going to come from to pay the gym membership. I'm not stressing about where the money's going to come from for paying the life insurance. I'm not stressing about where the money's going to come from for paying the phone bill. All this money is taken out automatically, and automation is really key when it comes to budgeting. But whichever method you choose, the goal is to know exactly where your money is going. So in 2025, we're going to be prioritizing saving. 2024 was for spending. 2024, you went to the mall, you were buying couches and you were buying furniture for your house. But for 2025, we're going to save. If you weren't saving this year in 2024, in 2025, we're going to save. And how much are we going to save? We're going to save at least 20%. We're going to go off that 50, 30, 20 rule, where 20% is saved and invested. We can save 10% and invest the other 10. We can grow our emergency fund and then invest the rest of it. It's up to you. But in 2025, we're going to save, and you have to put this in your mind that you're going to be saving this year. You're going to set a certain amount of money to save, whether that's $10 a month, whether that's 50, 100, 500, 1,000. You're going to have a certain amount of money that you're going to save every month. And the best way to do this, by automatically saving your money. What do? I get paid bi-weekly. Right now, I'm trying to save $1,500 a month. I am saving $1,500 a month because I have no choice, because my money is on automation. My money is allotted from my paycheck. So I break that down to, I think, $750. So every paycheck, I get $750 that gets taken out of my paycheck and goes straight to my high yield savings account. So in 2025, we're going to save, and I want you to write this on a board. I want you to write this in your phone. I want you to write this in your notes. We're going to save in 2025. And the fourth financial New Year's resolution is to start that emergency fund. We're going to start and we're going to grow that emergency fund in a high yield savings account. The emergency fund is super important because when it comes to you losing your job, when it comes to your car breaking down, when it comes to an emergency medical bill, when it comes to these emergencies, these things that you cannot foresee, you're going to be very, very thankful that you have this emergency fund. Now, how much are we saving for our emergency fund? If you don't know, we're talking about 3 to 6 months, maybe 9, maybe to a year. It all depends on your circumstances. So we're saving 3 to 6 months of your living expenses. It's all dependent on your circumstances. It might be 9 months, it might be 12 months, but basically what you're going to do to actually get your emergency fund number is calculate all your bare bone expenses. So we're going to calculate the mortgage or the rent. We're going to calculate how much we pay in gas. We're going to estimate how much we're paying in groceries. We're going to calculate the insurance that we have, whatever we need. We're not really calculating the wants. We're not calculating going out to eat. We're not calculating vacations into your emergency fund, because when it comes to an actual emergency, if you actually lost your job or if something actually did happen where you need to use this money, we're not really factoring in these wants. It's all about the necessities when it comes to your emergency fund. So when you're growing this emergency fund, just try to put as much money as you can inside of it and gradually increase this number. Gradually increase it by $5 or $10. So if you're saving $100 a month, next month try $150 and see how that works. Maybe you can cut back in certain areas, but the emergency fund is super important, so you're not relying on credit cards and these 20 and 30% interest rates, and then you become part of that $1.66 trillion club. The fifth financial New Year's resolution is to invest into our retirement accounts. We're going to boost our retirement savings. We're going to get our retirement started. If we have not started our retirement savings, we're going to get it started in 2025. We're going to invest into our company's 401k. If you don't know if your company has a 401k, we're going to go ask HR, do we have a 401k? We're going to get invested into our retirement. We're going to get invested into our financial future. We're going to start caring about our financial future, because there is a future for you. and it is important that you save and prepare for it. So we're going to open our Roth IRAs, we're going to open our brokerage accounts, and we're going to open and make sure that we're funding our 401k. The earlier you start, the better. And it's never too late to start saving for your retirement. And the sixth financial New Year resolution that we're going to be doing is learning different investment strategies. There are so many different ways to invest out there, and you need to learn which way works for you. For me, I enjoy dollar cost averaging, which I just put money into the market every week because I don't want to miss anything. I don't want to miss the dips. I don't want to miss the lows. I don't want to miss the highs. I'm ensuring that I put money into my Roth every week. A certain amount of money goes in there automatically, and it automatically gets invested. As you can see the trend here, automation is key. Like I always say, make sure that you run everything on automation. There are many other strategies out there that you can do, like lump sum investing, just putting the whole lump sum of money into your account for the year. But you have to find out what works for you. There's different risks and different things that you have to think about when it comes to these different investment strategies. Just be sure that it is a smart investment strategy and not too risky. But if you are younger, you can take more risk, but just make sure it's not too risky and that people are actually doing it and having good results. And the seventh financial New Year's resolution that we're going to be doing in 2025 is building our credit score. Our credit score in 2024 was a joke, let's be honest. It was a 500, it was a 550, it was a 600, but in 2025, our credit score is going to be 700. It's going to be 750. In 2025, we're going to get our credit score up, and how are we going to do this? We're going to pay off our debts. We're going to use credit cards in a smart way. We're going to pay all of our bills on time. We're just going to be more smart and financially savvy when it comes to money. And the eighth New Year's resolution is to increase our financial literacy. In 2024, we didn't really know much about finances. We just kind of saw some stuff on TikTok and we thought that was what it was. But in 2025, we're going to actually do our own research. We're going to find out what's good for us. We're going to find out what works for us. We're going to read books. We're going to follow trusted sources on YouTube. We're going to follow trusted sources on social media. And we're not going to focus on these get rich quick schemes or these courses that are supposed to make you a millionaire in 30 days. We're going to work on our financial literacy so we can be smart and literate when it comes to our finances. So we can know what a credit score is. So we can know how interest rates work. So in 2025, we're going to increase our financial literacy. And the ninth thing that we're going to be doing in 2025 is updating our beneficiaries. We don't know what's going to happen to us. You have no idea what's going to happen to you in 2025. You survived 2024, but you might not survive 2025. And it sounds terrible. It's super sad, but that's the harsh reality. We don't know what's going to happen, so we're going to update our beneficiaries. We're going to make sure our family is good. We want to make sure that if something did happen to us, the money or the assets that we have will go to the people that we wanted to go to. Like I said, in 2025, we're going to be more involved in our finances, and we're not going to sweep these things under the rug. We're going to attack them head on, and we need to make sure that our beneficiaries are updated so they can have a fantastic future if anything were to happen to us. And the final financial resolution that we're going to have in 2025 is to look to make extra income. This is something that I always do. I'm always looking to make extra income. I used to look at the get rich quick schemes. I used to look at the Amazon FBA. I even did Amazon FBA and it went pretty well, but it just ran out of money. And I looked at all these other things, and I'm looking at different businesses to start and different ways to make more money, doing overtime and just different ways to make more money, because that's more money that can get invested into my retirement. So in 2025, you might want to consider a side hustle or a second job. Whatever your financial situation calls for, let's consider. If your financial situation calls for you to make $500 extra so you can pay off your debt faster, then we're gonna look for a side hustle or side income that's gonna give us $500 to make paying our debt off faster and easier. It's a sacrifice. It's all a sacrifice. You might work 30 hours a week more, but you can fit 20 more hours in. So it's all about sacrifice. Just make it a year sacrifice. Say for 2025, I'm gonna work this second job, and then in 2026, I'm done with this job. But in 2025, I'm gonna grind. I'm gonna get to where I need to get to so that I can have a better financial future. And that's it. Those are your top 10 financial New Year's resolutions. A lot of these resolutions I have completed in 2024, but I will continue to focus and be sure to grind towards keeping these resolutions going in 2025. But hopefully these financial resolutions will become a guideline in your life that you just go by. You just know that you should be saving 20%. You know that you need to pay on this credit card debt. You know that you shouldn't even carry a balance. So hopefully these 10 financial New Year's resolutions will become a part of your life. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. And if you did, be sure to share it with a friend, share it with a family member, and I will see you guys in the next video.